Welcome to the world of Near and Far by Red Raven Games. Set in the same world as Above and Below, Near and Far is a game of exploration, adventure, and strategy, where you'll travel through a book of maps to find the last ruin and the legendary artifact therein. Along the way, you'll recruit adventurers, build camps, collect treasures, go on storybook quests, and improve or ruin your reputation, all to collect journey points that help you win. For your first game, you'll play on the first map, the Glogo Caverns. On the map, place quest tokens on random book spaces, the number depends on player count, and stack the threat cards in numerical order on the threat space, lowest value on top. Place the coins, gems, tokens, and world cards next to the map. Above the map, place the town board, dusk side up, with 5 adventurers drawn from the bag, 3 packbirds per player, and the deck of treasure cards. Place the 4 chief cards face up next to it. In a 2-player game, place an unused character on the town hall. Each player takes a player board and fills the tent spaces with tents of their color, placing extra tents aside. Put the heart marker on the 0 space and choose an animal companion to place in one of the spots in the upper left. Take 3 coins as your starting money. Choose a character standee and place its matching reputation marker on the 0 space of the reputation track on the town board. Shuffle the basic and advanced artifact cards separately, and deal 5 basic and 2 advanced cards to each player. For the basic cards, draft 1 card and pass the rest to the left, repeating until all cards have been drafted. Then, discard one of your 2 advanced cards and any basic cards you wish. You lose 1 point at the end of the game for every artifact card you don't purchase from your hand, so choose wisely. Before you get started, let's explain how icons work. Adventurers you recruit in the game, along with artifact, treasure, and world cards, can provide you with heart, skill, combat, search, shield, and movement icons that improve your actions, but only active icons help you. Adventurers have to be in the active party on your board for their icons to be active, and artifacts must be purchased before their icons are active. They don't count while they're in your hand. Icons on treasure and world cards you own are always active. Now you're ready to play. Starting with the first player, players take turns going clockwise. On your turn, you'll either visit town to stock up on resources, or go adventuring on the world map. To visit town, place your character on a building that doesn't have another player in it, unless you visit the saloon, which has no player limit. If you were already in town on your previous turn, you must move to another building. If you are on the adventure map, you can move to town instantly from any space. The town hall lets you trade goods, discard an artifact, and change your reputation, once each in any order. To trade goods, pay up to 5 goods to gain 1 good, or pay 1 good to gain up to 5 goods. You must pay goods worth more than the goods you gain, based on the value table. To discard an artifact, place an unpurchased card from your hand on the discard pile. To change your reputation, pay coins or gems to gain or lose 1 reputation each. The saloon lets you recruit an adventurer from the row on the town board. Before you recruit, you may pay 1 food to discard and redraw the adventurers in the row. Then, choose an adventurer, pay its coin cost, and place it on your board. Pay 1 less coin for each faction banner and chief you have of that adventurer's color. You can only have 1 adventurer of each faction in the active party on your board, and only 4 total, including your animal companion, which can be in any faction slot. Extra adventurers are inactive and stored off your player board. You may swap active and inactive adventurers when you leave town, as we'll describe later. At the stables, pay 1 food to gain 1 packbird, placing it on your player board. Each packbird increases your movement by 1 and allows you to own 1 treasure card. At the general store, either gain a coin or draw 4 artifact cards, taking the ones you want into your hand and discarding the rest. At the farm, you gain 1 food per active skill icon you have. At the Mystic's Hut, if you have a packbird, draw 1 treasure card and place it in a slot on your board. If all your slots with packbirds are full, you must either discard an existing card or give up your new treasure. At the mine, place a camp into one of the 12 spaces in the mine. Whenever you take a camp from your player board, here or elsewhere, always take the leftmost camp from the topmost row and gain any rewards revealed when you remove it. The first camp in the mine must be placed in the top left corner, and later camps must be adjacent to an existing camp of any color. You must have at least as many active skill icons as the number in the mine space. Gain the rewards shown above and to the left of the space you place your camp in. If you want to visit a building other than the saloon that already has another player in it, you must duel the other player. First, declare whether you're fighting dirty or honorably. Each player rolls a die, then adds the number of active sword icons they have. If you're fighting dirty, add 1 to your roll. You may also spend any number of hearts to add 1 each to the roll. The defender may not do this. The player with the highest number wins the duel, with the defender winning ties. If you win, you gain 1 reputation if you fought honorably, or lose 1 reputation if you fought dirty. And then you can perform the building's action. If you lose, then you go to jail, and your reputation doesn't change. On your next turn, you can go to any building without dueling. In a 2-player game, when you go to the town hall, you must duel the unused character if your opponent isn't there. Instead of visiting town, you can use your turn to go adventuring on the map. If you were already on the map last turn, you start from your current space. But if you were in town, then before you head out to adventure, Swap any active and inactive party members you wish, set your heart marker to the sum of all the heart values on your active party members, and place your character on the town space on the map. Leaving town is the only time you get to reset your hearts and party members. To adventure, move a number of spaces up to your movement value, which is 2 plus the number of packbirds and active movement icons you have. You must pay 1 heart for every space you pass over that has no camp, not including the spaces you start and end on. The town space does not count as empty, and threat and treasure symbols are not spaces. If you move over a threat symbol and at least one of the adjacent spaces has no camp, then you may have to fight the topmost threat card. You can pass over it freely by discarding a packbird, having a party member with a shield icon, or having a card that allows you to ignore threats. But if you can't pass the threat, then you must fight it. Just like dueling, roll a die and add the number of active sword icons you have. You may also spend any number of hearts to increase your total. If your total meets or exceeds the threat's value, you have defeated it. Take the threat card and place a camp on it from your player board following the usual rules. If you fail to defeat the threat, move back to the space before the threat icon and end your turn. If you move over a treasure symbol and at least one of the adjacent spaces has no camp, then you draw a treasure card, following the same rules as for the Mystic's hut in town. If you end your movement on a space with a quest token, you may attempt the quest. The player on your left reads the paragraph in the storybook corresponding to the quest number. They also read the bold text at the top of each choice box, which will require you to achieve a certain skill or combat threshold. Choose which one you want to try to achieve, then roll a die and add your active skill or sword icons, plus any hearts you want to spend. If the total is equal to or greater than the requirement, then you receive the rewards listed in the storybook, and you receive extra rewards if your total is 2 or more greater than the requirement. Whether or not you succeed, the quest token is discarded. If you end your movement on a space that has no camp, you may build one by paying 3 hearts and placing a camp on the space, following the usual rules. If the space has a coin or gem symbol, then you gain coins or gems equal to the number of active search icons you have. Some spaces have trade route symbols. At the end of the game, if both spaces with a given symbol have camps on them, the player or players that control those spaces gain journey points based on the table at the top of the map. At any time on your turn, you may buy an artifact card from your hand by paying the costs on the left of the card to the supply. You may also need to have a certain positive or negative reputation. Purchased cards are worth journey points at the end of the game, and may also provide you with abilities. The first player to own 4 of one faction banner claims the chief of that color. The chief gives points at the end of the game and also counts as 1 permanent faction banner. After one player has placed their 14th camp, play continues until the player to the right of the start player has taken a turn. Then, the game ends. Count up your journey points for completed trade routes, purchased artifacts, threats, your position on the reputation track, and other bonuses on cards in your player board. You also gain 1 point per camp in unused faction token, and 1 point for every 2 coins or gems. You lose 1 point for each unpurchased artifact card still in your hand at the end of the game. Ties go to the player with the highest reputation, then to the player with the most coins and gems. Whoever has the most journey points is the most successful adventurer and has won the game. But your first game is just the beginning. Play arcade mode to explore other maps individually. Play character mode to experience a story specific to your character. Or play the epic campaign mode across the entire map book to reach the last ruin and find the legendary artifact that will grant the greatest desires of the heart. The player with the most total journey points from all 10 games wins the campaign. So gather your adventurers, sharpen your swords, load up your packbirds, and venture into the world of near and far. We'll see you there.